Hello, I'm Prophet Elmore Richmond Jr. Just like most of you, we all are concerned about what's going on in the United States of America today. And one of the concerns is about the problem that we had up on Capitol Hill earlier this year, whereby we had a very difficult time getting different measures passed because there's a group of people, which is known as the Tea Party, who has a disposition no increase in taxes for anyone. And what we're going to do during this short presentation to be able to bring clarity to why they are holding so firm to that disposition. No increased taxes for anyone. But we're going to bring light so that they can begin to see it from a different vantage point, and so we can also appreciate why they hold this disposition, so that we could begin to work the affairs of the United States of America. Now, when we talk about no increased taxes for anyone, well, there's a problem there, because we need an increase in taxes. But yet and still, some people, especially some of the members of the Tea Party, they are right when they say we don't need increased taxes for us. But they said we don't need increased taxes for anyone. Let's take a look at this. And we'd like to commend Dr. Domhoff from the University of Los Angeles at Santa Cruz. He published a study that was released back in July of this year. In part of that study, he was able to point out very clearly as to what's going on within the United States of America for its wealth distribution. We'll take a look at that. In part of that study, he took a look at wealth distribution as of 2007 in the United States of America. Let's take a closer look at what he discovered. He looked at the top 1%. He discovered that they have 43% of the wealth in the nation. And the next 4% has 29% of the wealth. The next 5% has 11% of the wealth. Then the next 10% has 10% of the wealth. The bottom 80% share only 7% of the wealth in this nation. Let's break it down so we can really begin and look at it from a completely different perspective to bring understanding to even in a very elementary perspective. If we take $100, that would mean 1%, the person on the top, would have $43. The next 4% who share 29% of the wealth, they would share $7.25 each. Then the next 5% who share 11% of the wealth, they would share $2.20 each. Then the next 10% who share 10% of the wealth, they will have $1 each. Then the bottom 80% who have only 7% of the wealth, they would have 8.75 cents or less than a dime each. On the other hand, when you take a real look at it from this perspective, you have one person on the top who has $43, but people on the bottom, they will have less than a dime each, the bottom 80%. And then you can take a look at this and you can begin to understand as to why some people are saying no more taxes. Who are these people that are members of the Tea Party? There may be some in this group who's less than a dime, but not likely. But this group here, who have only $1, they're trying to be prosperous and live a better way of living in the United States. Some may be some small business owners. You can understand if they just only have $1 and somebody at the very top has $43, they can say no more taxes. But if they say that this person on the top should not be taxed, then they may not understand as to how this distribution of wealth is highly concentrated. This is one of the things that Dr. Domhoff discovered, that people do not know how this distribution of wealth is concentrated at the very top. Even the people who have $2.20. They could be very effective business owners. They want to grow their business, and they said no more taxes. But they, too, will not understand that there's somebody up on the top, while they have $2.20, somebody have $43. And these people here, these people are not probably not members of the Tea Party. They may have influenced the process, but they have $7.25 each. That means that they have more than the bottom 80%. We need to really begin to take a real look at that. But the person on the top, he has 6 times more than them, and also 6 times more than the bottom 80% of the people in the nation. In order for America to prosper, we must be able to pay off this debt. We must get enough revenue in to be able to take care of the affairs of this nation. Our military, who do they really support? They support everybody within the nation. But many people have industries and business in other countries. So as a result of that, the interests of a lot of business people are dependent on the safety and the well-being of those nations, which depend on our military being there to try to help create some stability there. So this is a reality, of something that we need to deal with. Now, it's imperative that the people in the House, in the Senate, and also in the executive branch of government understand this, so we can be able to communicate effectively to address the affairs of this nation. Because it's only through that particular process, and when we look at it from that particular vantage point, we can appreciate why you have a group of people who will say no increase in taxes for anyone. But however, now hopefully they can begin to look at it from a different vantage point, and it's imperative that we, the people, understand what's going on in America and then begin to address the affairs of this nation. We can just not say, hell with this group or hell with this group. We must be able to create an understanding whereby we can begin to work the affairs of this nation. And I'm grateful that this part of this presentation will bring some light. And I believe this: if we share this information, people within in the United States of America will begin to look at this from a different vantage point, and then we can begin to work and resolve some very serious problems that impacting this nation today.